Hey guys, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. This is Living in Austin, and today we are going to dig deep on what it really costs to live in Austin.
Hey guys, I'm Mark French.
And I'm Zoe Wafelbakker.
And we are the people behind Agape Property Group here in Austin.
If it's your first time to the channel, thank you for checking us out. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure that you hit that little subscribe button and that notification bell next to it. Because if you are here, then you're probably curious about what it's like to live in Austin, and this is what this channel is all about. We are uploading videos every week about living, working, playing, eating, outdoors, you name it, all the things that you want to know about living in Austin.
Now, as much as we love making these videos, we love even more helping people move here to find their home and in the right community for them. So we've done it ourselves 7 years ago. We know how hard it can be, so we love helping people on this exciting journey. So make sure you reach out to us by text, phone and email. Okay, so first up guys is housing. What does it actually cost you to live here in Austin? So we're going to break it down. So the latest data we have from Austin Board of Realtors is September data. The average closed price is $564,000. So I am going to be peeking at the laptop screen here. It's got some numbers that I need to refer to. So based upon that average closed price, we are assuming for this scenario that the tax rate is 2.22% and the lending rate is 3.25%. So based upon that, and you're putting down 20% down payment, you're looking at a $113,000 down payment. That leaves the loan amount of $452,000, again at 3.25%. And that will give you the principal and interest payment of $1,967.
Thereabouts.
Thereabouts. It's pretty damn accurate there. Now, that's just the P&I. Now you've got taxes. So tax rate we said is going to be 2.22% for this scenario, and that is based upon the appraised value of the property. So with that, taxes are going to come in at just above $1,000 per month. And then you've got the insurance, and that's going to be anywhere between $100 and $150. So all of that totaled up, you're looking at about $3,150 all in for your PITI for a house, or at that average price point. Now, if you move here and you want to check out some of the different areas and be here for a while and rent, then the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment here in Austin is $1,500, and that is up 18% versus last year. So, but that is that. So, over to utilities.
Okay, so now into utilities. You've got the house, now you've got to run the house. And according to Numbeo, you're going to pay $141 a month for electricity, water and garbage. And but that is based on a, was it 915 square foot property. That's, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't think anyone really pays that kind of amount. And maybe it is if it's, you know, you've got that one bedroom apartment that you're paying that kind of figure. So we wanted to go a level deeper and give you a couple of examples, our examples of when we lived in a 2,100 square foot home that was older, and now when we're living in a slightly bigger one at 2,700 square feet, but it's new. So let's go on that. The first one, that was a 16-year-old house, and it probably needed a new AC unit in it. It
Definitely
did. We were paying for that home $318 a month that was the city of Austin. It pulled everything in for your water, electricity, and your garbage collection. So that was $318. And then gas was on top of that, and we did have a gas dryer in that house, and that was about $40 a month. Bear in mind we're a family of 5. Okay, so then we're in a slightly bigger house, but new air conditioning, which is rather nice, and better windows and stuff like that, but it's not exactly that much better. So what we're paying on electricity is about $160 a month, and again we do have an electric dryer, and that's something to note here as well, especially for people that are coming from overseas. Because of the humidity here, you're using the dryer all the time, so it does include that old electric dryer. And for water, realistically we're paying just over $100 for that. We were getting some astronomical bills, but it ended up that our meter was actually faulty, so we're looking at around just over $100 a month for water. We've got a bigger yard, so we are using the sprinkler system 3 times a week at the moment, so that has an impact there. And then gas, the gas bill has come down somewhat, and that's around $20 a month. So all in all, for us, that is around about $400 a month. So it's going to depend how many people are in your house. It's going to depend on if you've got a huge yard. It's going to depend on if you've got a huge house or a tiny house, but there are figures to think about as well. With that as well, not really, well, it's kind of a utility, but internet.
Yep.
So what are we paying on internet?
$50, but we're not high speed right now. If you want to go 1 gig or 2 gig fiber, you're looking at least for the 1 gig about $80. That's with Google or AT&T or Spectrum.
Yeah.
And you're looking up to like $150, $200 for 2 gig fiber.
And with that, with Google Fiber, it is in Austin, but it's not everywhere in Austin. So something to think about. If that's super important to you, then it will be on your MLS sheets if Google Fiber is with the property. So it is a plus if you have got it.
Okay, next up, bugs. So bugs, I could talk about this for a while. Bugs are going to cost you, bug treatment. You want to get your house sprayed, you want to get kind of under your gutters done, you want to get the perimeter of the house done, you want to make sure there's no ant molds taking place, you want to make sure that, spiders, I don't mind spiders because they eat other bugs. They're on my side. So anyway, it's going to cost you anywhere between $100 and $125. Now, what we're seeing in some of the new constructions is that they actually put some tubing around the base of the frame, and a company will come out and plug in a machine and pump in some termite treatment every quarter or half year basis, and I think that's amazing to have that feature. Lawns being mowed. So again, that depends on how large your lot is in front and backyards, but for us, in our previous home, that was 2,100 square feet. I can't remember exactly the square footage of our...
We didn't have much of a yard.
We had a very small front yard and very small backyard, mostly decking, but that cost us $30, and we paid that every 2 weeks to get our lawn mowed. And now we're paying $50, and we are more than double the size of what we were before. I'd say our backyard is close to
about 3 times the size of what it was.
Yeah, like 500 square feet, and maybe the front yard is 50, 100. So
and I mean, I know it seems like, you get your lawn mowed. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to have that expense at all. We personally chose to because it gets so hot here, and having the lawnmower out, on we often work in the weekend. Having the lawnmower out when it's 105 degrees isn't a lot of fun. So So
not
Mark
fun.
wasn't on board with that one.
Bugs,
Nor was I.
bugs are out there. I want to stay. I want to stay in the house when bugs are rife outside.
So on the other thing that you might not be relevant to you, but it may well be relevant to you, is if you want your house professionally cleaned. Obviously this is going to vary on the size of your house. If you've got, how many people you have in the house, it's going to vary. So and who you get to clean the house as well, and how many people come in to do it. A good number to work with is about $65 an hour. That's with having 2 people come in, and again, it depends on how long they're going to be there, on how clean your house is. They're going to be there for 2 hours or 4 hours. I don't know, work on, if it's an average size house, per below, 2,092 square foot is the average size house here, work on about 2 or 3 hours. So that can realistically cost you anything from, say, $150 to $300. And again, it depends if you're getting it done weekly, twice a week, or every 2 weeks. So that's another expense that you may or may not have. So moving on to the next one, gasoline.
Yes.
Gasoline.
So I got a funny story here. When we first moved to the US, we had a great big huge Nissan Pathfinder. Went to the gas station. Nissan. Went to the gas station to fill up, and I had $100 cash in my pocket, thinking it's going to cost me a whole load of dollar. But actually end up walking in to pay, and then there was the whole thing about paying first, then filling up, and I had to get kind of around that. That was interesting. But then it was $30 to fill up the tank, and it was like a 15-gallon tank, and I just could not believe. I remember calling you saying, "Guess how much it costs us to fill up the car?" So it's cheaper than what we're used to back in the UK, London. So right now in October, it's about $2.80 per gallon.
And we don't actually normally see it go much over 3 either.
No.
It's gone obviously much lower. At the beginning of the pandemic, it went really low, and that was great. But we typically don't see it go over $3, which is awesome, because if you're going to move to Texas and get a big old truck, you want gas to be you don't want it to be too expensive. Also, for our international friends moving over here, just to help you with the maths on that, everything's done by the gallon here, and it's 3.7 litres to the gallon. So you can probably do some quick maths in your head and realise how cheap the gas is in comparison to...
Love it.
Awesome. Okay, next one. All right, so if you don't have a car, or you don't want to use your car, you can take the public transport. Heads up, public transport's not that great here. They do have a bus service, they've got a light rail service. You're looking at about $1.25 per ride, or for like a day pass, it's like $2.50. We've got up on the screen what the monthly passes are as well. So they're trying to work on the public transport system, but it's not the best. So now moving on to fitness like things, if you're into going to the gym and all that kind of stuff, a huge variety of gyms here. You've got your 24 hour fitness, the Gold's Gym, up to your Lifetimes. So obviously all at varying price points as well. You can get you can get 24 hour fitness from like $30 a month, up until you go up to the Lifetime if you want the full works, and that Lifetime starts at like $109 for people under 26 years old, and then it starts for $119 for individuals, and can go up to $250, about $269 actually, $270 for say a family of 4. There's the add-ons, I think it's like $30 per kid or something. So you've got that. Now what's also really, really cool about Austin, you've got a huge amount of other choices as well. If you want to do boxing, if you want to do Camp Gladiator. Camp Gladiator is outdoor fitness. It's kind of like boot camp style, and they have sessions running everywhere. You've got it on an app, and you can just like have your gym gear, your fitness stuff in the car, and your weights and all that kind of stuff, and then just like where's one, you know, close by, and go to that. That's really, really cool. And prices for that start from like $69, depending on the contract that you go for as well. So that's really good fun.
All right, so if you don't want to pay the gym memberships, then there's a lot of stuff to do for free that's outside and fun. So hiking trails, there's lots of those around town. There is the Barton Creek Trail that we are getting out now once a week as a family, and we're loving that. Our daughter just showed some real talent kind of running those trails. So we get out there and do running on the trails, which is great fun. There's also 89 state parks here, so memberships for those. Now, when I say here, it's in the state of Texas, but there are, definitely double-digit state parks around Austin. You might have to drive for maybe an hour to get out to some of them, but there are some really close to central Austin. And that membership per year is going to cost you $70, and you can get access to all of those parks, which is amazing.
And then if you just want to get out and about for fun stuff, I mean, there's a ton of fun stuff to do here, but we're keeping it kind of in the outdoorsy fitness stuff. If you want to hire a paddleboard or a canoe, a kayak on the lake, those prices start, they range from $15 to $25. So if you wanted to get out and about, you can do that on the sunny days.
And then there's also amazing pools. My favourite in town is Deep Eddy. So when you come to the end of...
I've mentioned that a few times before.
Maybe. So when you... And also Barton Springs as well. So when you're out of season in those, for those pools, it's free. You can just turn up and swim, and there's no charge. I think the charging starts as kind of summer starts. So there's those as well.
All right, now we are diving deeper into other charges. So for people that don't have kids, this may not be relevant to you, but we will touch on this. Daycare. I did a very detailed research poll of a local mums group on the cost of daycare. So the real cost of daycare. So I actually got 200 responses from it, and the figures are quite cool. So 77 mums said that they pay $1,200 a month for daycare. Now this is for preschool, so it can range from 3 months old up until 5 years old. So $1,200, 77 people were paying $1,200 a month. 43 were paying $1,300 a month, and 20 were paying $1,100 a month. So that round figure, to get a percentage actually in there, there were 86% of my 200 group that were paying over $1,000 a month in daycare. Now with that, some include lunch, some do not. More do not, especially with COVID now. And the other thing I would note is daycare is going to be more expensive for your infant. Typically, it's going to be more expensive for your infant, and that price will go down as they get older. With daycare, if you are looking at moving here, start researching it now, because there are wait lists. There are really big wait lists for daycare. We were, I was pregnant with our second and put him on a wait list, and we just got into the daycare, and he entered at 18 months.
For so many people, it's an afterthought. So if you can kind of nail down a place before moving here, I know it's tricky because you want to be there and see it, but if you can nail down a place, or you just know you've got people here on the ground that can go and check it out for you, then definitely get on that wait list as early as possible.
Yeah. It could be a real stress. So, but that's it. Daycare kind of cost there. It's going to obviously vary per place, but as you can see with our data.
Yeah. Now, just to kind of add to all of this, you may have seen me fidgeting a little bit during this. There's ants here, and they're just kind of I keep feeling things, and so if you're thinking why does Mark fidget so much? Yeah, so that's the reason why.
We're getting to our feet, and there are little ants on the table here as well. All right, guys. So as always, we hope you found that useful. Reach out to us. Our details are below. Give us a call, drop us a text, send us an email. We're the people that pick up the phone and answer the emails. If there's anything specific that you want to know about, this is a generalized list here that we hope has helped a lot of people. But, there's always going to be things that we haven't covered that might be relevant to you. So we'd love to help you. Reach out. And otherwise, see you next time.
See you next time, guys. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.